Hello everybody and welcome to another data recovery video. This time I'm working on a Samsung SSD that's been mailed in from Brisbane. Now it's not working, it's not detecting in the system. It's a Samsung MZ-77E4T0 EVO and it's a 4TB model. And if we check out the date here, it's made in 2024 in June. So as of today, it's only lasted about 6 months. Let's have a closer look. Now, before we open it, I wanted to give you a quick look here. I did some investigation. If I turn it on the meter here, we're just drawing 100 milliwatts. Now, these things should be drawing at least 1 watt. So there's clearly something wrong with the electronics inside this. I should see some activity here when it's turned on and plugged on. So let's open it up and have a look inside. Now you need a special screwdriver to open these things. It's the same as the MacBook. I think it's a Pentalobe 1.2 or 1.5, can't remember. And there's 3 screws. There's only 1 screw visible, which is this one here. But we've actually got 2 screws hidden we have to find to open it. Now usually it's hidden up here. I just press, and down here. Now if I press that, you'll see the indent, the little circle. And we've found one of the hidden screws. Same thing here. Usually in the same place on all models. And we're inside. Now that it's open, we're going to do a bit of a visual inspection under the microscope. Now the fact that it's drawing 100 milliwatts on the power is giving me a bit of an idea that maybe the main circuit is faulty. Just shouldn't see that at all. I should see some activity. But anyway, on the top of this PCB, we've got the main controller chip here. We've got one of the memory chips here, another memory chip here. We got RAM here. This here is all power management. And we're going to do a visual inspection to see if we can see anything obvious with the electronics. We've got our 5 volts comes into here, and it looks like it might flip to the other side of this PCB. So what we'll do is we'll trace the input voltage and see what happens. A good thing to check is around the power management, see if anything is burnt or blown out. Everything here looks kind of good, almost new condition. I mean, it's 6 months old. And that's it. So we check out the other side. That power comes in through here. Where was it? I think it's this. If you see these little dots here, I think that's your 5 volt input line. We just match that up again. Yeah. See how you got, what is that, 9 little dots. And if we follow this here, we got one big 5 volt input trace. And what is that? Something looks a bit burnt. Okay, let's zoom in. Sorry, I'm focusing the wrong way, but I think we can see something already. Okay, there's a big hole in this chip here. Put some light on that. Okay guys, do you see that? This is the first point where the 5 volts comes in. And there is a black hole that is burnt in this SSD, this little chip here. This little chip's got a, 5 pins on each side, something up here too. Looks like a little bit of solder ball. Might get the tweezers, see if that's loose. Is that a defect from the factory? You don't usually see solder, yeah, there you go. You don't usually see that. That is a bit of a defect. Little bit of a solder ball that's kind of floating around. We'll get rid of that because these little things can get caught into any wires here and they will short circuit anything that they touch, so we'll get rid of that. This hole here, I did not get rid of that solder ball. Stuck to my tweezers. Okay. So we got a chip here. It's the first chip on the circuit. Now, does anyone think they might know what this chip does? I'll give you a clue. What do all circuits in electronics usually have at the very start? Starts with F. It's a fuse. It may not look like a conventional fuse if you're not used to electronics, but to us engineers, this is definitely a pretty standard fuse for modern electronics, specifically in the last decade. So this is probably an electronic fuse here. And what markings do we have? ATGFD. Now that doesn't mean much at all. That's just some manufacturing code. It's might be standard to Samsung, but I don't think I'll look it up. I'll look it up just to check. Now there's two types of problems that can occur with this chip here. It can have a short circuit problem or a open circuit problem. Now hopefully it's open circuit because that means it's protected the rest of the SSD and the rest of the electronics. So I'm just going to get my multimeter here in beep test mode or continuity mode. If you have a multimeter, which means if you touch them together, it beeps. Do you hear the beep? So that would be a short circuit. So I just need to pick a common ground on one side. That'll be off camera. Sorry. Sometimes finding a common ground can be a bit hard, a bit tricky. Usually I go for something like this, if you can see. So we'll see if that actually works. We'll go from you to the... Sorry, it's a bit hard. Okay, that's working. So I've got a ground with one probe. I'm going to use my other probe to check the input side. And it's not beeping. That's good. So it hasn't brought the main voltage supply to ground. We'll check the output. So these three pins here, this is all output by the look of it, and that should be this one. Now that looks like it's gone all to ground. I would say that this is probably open. If I go from this side to this side, yeah, there's no continuity. There's no circuit. That means it's an open circuit. So hopefully this device, which is an electronic fuse by the look of it, my guess, has done its job and is now open like a conventional fuse, like the wire would burn out and protect the rest of the circuit. So there's nothing here. I'll have to take it out now and we'll see what happens. So we're going to use some hot air to take this out of circuit. We do need to remember the orientation. It's a bit hard to see under the direct light, but pin 1 is, this is pin 1 here. So when I put a new one down, I make sure I get that correct. So just going to flux up the soldering pins. There'll also probably be a huge ground plane underneath this chip. And I've lost my tweezers. Here they are. So we're going to go in with some heat. And there it is out of circuit. As I said, a huge soldered ground plane underneath it. And if it's a bit clearer now, you can see a little chip marking, the little dot that indicates which side and which corner is pin number 1. So there's our problem. Removed, hopefully. We'll do some more tests. So I'm going to just see if that beeping, that short circuit we had earlier has cleared. And that was the output side, remember? And it's gone. Might just under here. And it's gone. So it looks like the output side of this chip was short-circuited and the input side was still open, and altogether it was an open circuit. So that means hopefully this SSD is protected. You can see anytime you get a power spike with enough power that can cause a damage to a chip like this, it can still damage other components. That's very common. You want to hope not, but we do need to keep an eye out. So I've got what looks like a good... This should be... Okay, yeah. So this will be a ground plane here, as I said. And if I just use that as a ground plane and recheck, yeah, no beeping. So we don't have a short circuit since we've removed this chip. And the input side, hopefully everything's good. Now earlier I said I would Google this part to see if I can find a product listing for it, ATGFD, and I said it's unlikely. No, this isn't a marking for any product that you can buy. They're probably internal codes for manufacturing. Who knows? You can never really Google these codes and find parts unless it's super common, but specialty electronics, no, you just can't find anything. But where I can find one is on another SSD, and I'm going to steal it from another Samsung SSD. It's not exactly the same model. I do carry a lot of parts here to solve a lot of these SSD data recovery problems, and I did find one that should do the job. As you can see, this one's got ATBUA, so probably some kind of in all honesty, I could buy two of these at the same time and they'll have a different marking on them, but the chip hopefully is the same chip and it should do the job. So I'm going to chuck some flux in here again. I'm going to do all four sides because hopefully it sucks it underneath. And I've also remembered the orientation. See the little dot here? If I can pick it up the same way I need to put it down, it's going to make my life very easy. It's going to require a lot more heat than most chips because of that huge ground plane. So you've got to be careful with your temperature on these. Now you can have the same problem when you're putting the chip back on. You can see this big blob of solder on this ground plane. If that's too much solder, it'll cause this chip not to seat correctly. And that's going to catch out a lot of inexperienced technicians. So I might see how I go with it on there. What I'm going to do is re-ball and make sure the solder's nice for our footprint for this little chip. I'm just simply going to heat it up and make sure the little pads are distributed evenly with solder. It may need a bit more solder topped up. I just want to see a little bit of solder balled on it, kind of like this one here. Okay, I'll steal solder from this little ground. Whoop, don't lose the chip. I'm stealing solder from there and I'm going to put it onto these pins. There we go. It's going to get hot. Okay, what's happening is it's not balling correctly because there's just not enough solder on my soldering tip. So you want to be careful. You don't want to do too much and overdo it. I just need to see nice little balls where these little pins, and unfortunately I'm getting it. Alright, let's zoom in and have a closer look. That's a bit hard to see for you guys. I'm just going to do a bit of a cleanup because it's burnt a little bit of stuff there. I'm going to clean out that burnt crud or schmutz, I think, if you watch the Skid Factory. Schmutz. I watch the Skid Factory. If you're an Aussie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Actually, I might have this. The left side looks good. Nice solder balls there. The right side, I may have to top up a little bit. So I've cleaned all that flux off. I shouldn't do it without new flux or it'll burn again. Okay, that looks really good, both sides now. Now I've got too much solder because I accidentally touched that ground plane on the middle. So we're going to use some solder wick. It's like a more conductive, highly conductive wire to suck off the excess. And I've just got to make sure I don't suck off the solder that I need to put this chip back down. And I just only going to leave a little bit for that ground plane. That looks good. Now I'm being a bit pedantic here. I'm going to clean it again. Maybe I didn't need to. It looks clean enough. But just like welding, it has to be very clean. The cleaner it is, the more it will stick. So there's our new chip. And the orientation, if I don't get that right, I can do a lot of damage to this SSD. And we have to shift it. Oh, one more 90-degree anti-clockwise turn. It has to go that way. The ATBUA chip. Okay, cool. So we'll put some flux down. And let's solder in this new chip. So I've just got my hot air heating up to temperature. I want to get in like a sniper. I want to make sure it's orientated correct. You can see the little dot in pin 1. And I want to get it in a good position. Basically, I want the solder to heat up and tack itself. Now that's tacked, but it may not be soldered on all pins. So I'll put a bit more heat and see if it flows into position a bit better. And it does. You can see it gets sucked into position there. Hopefully it's enough heat to get all the pins and the ground plane. Now see this yellow Kapton tape that I've used? This is heat resistant sticky tape. And I'm using it to protect all the circuits from heat. Now never remove this when the thing's still hot, or you'll grab components underneath it. You'll do a lot of damage. So I'm just leaving it on until it cools down. And I'm just going to zoom in on those pins. And I want to see how well they're soldered. We can see all 5 pins there have soldered in nice and well. The light's a bit terrible for you. Sorry for that. There you go. That looks all right. And we'll just pick it up to the other side. Where's the other side? We're zoomed in. Oh, there. No. The other side looks good. I think we've got this soldered correctly, and we'll test the chip and see if the SSD works again. So that's it with the tape removed. It looks nice and clean. We'll just get rid of all the flux and debris from the soldering. We want our circuit to be pristine and clean. That looks good. Now, if you're probably wondering why this chip blew, I see a lot of people with just common power spikes or surges in their homes, or really low quality power supplies, or they may be hot plugging, hot disconnecting, but this came out of a desktop machine, and he had a problem with a few other drives, so it's probably more like a power supply or a blackout or brownout. Some kind of power spike has damaged this SSD. Okay guys, I've connected the SSD and there is some good news. It's detecting straight away. We've got the Samsung MZ-77E4T0. We've got the correct capacity, correct firmware, correct serial number. So let's do a test and see if we can actually read from this SSD again, and we're going to check the condition of it. So there's no errors being reported. And it looks like we do have data access again. So that is great news for the customer. We're going to give them all their data back. I'll check in a sec though. And there's the SSD. It's detected in Windows. It's an NTFS Windows file system. It's got 2.7 terabyte used with only 891 gig left. And we should be able to see all the files. And there's the good news, guys. There's access to all the folders and files again. We have successfully recovered the data from this SSD. If you need SSD data recovery, then visit our website, zeroalpha.com.au. You can mail in an SSD device from anywhere in the country or world. We get people call up from all parts of the world. And I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.